No, that's too bright.
Let's hope.
Okay, David, you can go ahead and start the meeting now. It's 4:02.
Okay. Order and ask for the clerk to call the roll.
Livermore alternate Bonanno.
Here.
Director Brown.
Here.
Vice Chair Josie.
Here.
Chair Halbert. Chair Halbert.
Sorry about that. I'm here. The
We have
next
a
item
quorum.
is to approve the minutes of the meeting from May 24th. I'd like to move approval. Is there a second?
Josie, second.
Any questions or comments from a member of the commission?
I just have a quick question. I was present for this meeting, but I was an alternate. Should I abstain or can I vote?
You can vote.
Okay, thank you.
Any members of the public wish to comment?
David,
Call
we
for the vote.
don't have anybody here from the public, and I didn't receive any public comments for agenda item 3. I just thought we should go back to that.
All right, let's go back to that then. Anybody from the public that wants to speak? Seeing none, we'll move back on to 4. Call for the
Okay.
vote.
You need the roll call?
Yep.
Livermore alternate Bonanno.
Aye.
Director Brown.
Aye.
Vice Chair Josie.
Aye.
Chair Halbert.
Aye,
Passes unanimously.
thank you. Then item 5.
Item 5 is acceptance of the Pleasanton BRT Corridor Enhancement Project. This item is kind of a formality to close out our grant with Alameda County Transportation Commission for the construction of the Pleasanton BRT Enhancements Project, also known as the Santa Rita Bus Stops Project. I think this committee's been hearing a lot about that project the last couple of years. I think you know it's completed. So this item is a resolution accepting the work performed by FBD Vanguard Construction for the project and authorizing the executive director to file a notice of completion with the county recorder. And these items will be required for us to submit to Alameda CTC per the terms of our funding agreement for the use of their grant funds for the project. The staff report summarizes kind of the outcomes of the project, but all told, it was completed within scope and within budget, and we've been hearing good things about the results. So with that, I'd be happy to take any questions you have.
Thank you. Any commissioners care to weigh in?
I want to weigh in,
Commissioner
but
Brown,
she asked for
a few
questions.
comments? Sure, yes.
Yes, the BRT, the rapid line looks fabulous. I love the lights over the seating areas. I like the R. I like the garbage cans. I like the look and the update and the cleanliness and the updating. So it's fabulous update. Thank you, Wheels.
If you're happy, I'm happy. Anybody else?
I have a quick question. I'm sorry, some of this maybe just be my learning curve. So what, number one, in Pleasanton, does this complete all of our bus stop enhancements, or is it just phase 1 of a staged project? And again, I'm sorry for not knowing this, but are we doing some similar work in Livermore, or has it already been done? I know our rapid stops look pretty darn good. I'm not sure if they have all the enhancements that's been done in Pleasanton. So I just liked a little bit more of a picture on what we're doing Tri-Valley wide. Or
Sure. This particular project is far from the entirety of our scope of our bus stop work in the Wheels service area. It is specific to one project in Pleasanton that we received grant funding for to improve stops along the 10R when we realigned our 2 rapid routes in 2016. So the original rapid route went down Jack London to Stone Ridge Mall. In 2016, we realigned it into 2 routes, the 30R, which mostly serves Livermore and Dublin, and the 10R that mostly serves Pleasanton. There hadn't been rapid service there, particularly on Santa Rita Road. The bus stops were pretty minimally provisioned, maybe a sign here, maybe a bench there. So this project was awarded grant funding by Alameda CTC specifically to bring the stops, especially on Santa Rita between downtown and the BART station, more up to the rapid standard that we've been enjoying in Livermore for a long time. So it brought on those new signs, new shelters, and other new passenger amenities for the corridor. So, but it's not, this is far from the end of our bus stop work. More is to come.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll add on to that, if I may, Chair, if we look back at Wheels, there was a focus of bringing people, especially to transit, like BART.
Any other, Jen?
Oh, sorry, and bringing people to transit, such as BART and ACE. And this was all part of this big project. We did a lot of outreach for anybody that lives along the 10R to try to convince them, don't drive to BART, because then there was no parking, but now there's lots of parking. But don't drive to BART, take Wheels to BART. And it was a very successful program when we had it going. So it was part of a big package, and this was a real facelift for us, as well as new shuttles stops, which was very much in need, and just so we could catch up to Dublin and Livermore.
Great, thanks for that background. I appreciate it. And thank you, Jennifer.
Are there any other questions, or is there a motion to be made, Mayor Brown?
I would like to make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Can we call for the vote? Roll call.
Livermore alternate Bonanno,
Aye.
Director Brown,
Yes.
Vice Chair Josie,
Aye.
Chair Halbert,
Aye.
passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. Item 6.
Still getting used to this unmuting thing, you know, and it's going to go away hopefully pretty soon. This one's mine. It's really a housekeeping measure. The Metropolitan Transportation Commission instituted a program called Clipper Start, which is a discounted fare product for low-income citizens. And they use some of the CARES Act funds for that. And so they set aside a pot of money to pay for the subsidies. And almost all of the Bay Area transit agencies are participating in the program. However, due to COVID, the utilization and the utilization of the available funds has been really low. So MTC wants to extend the program. It was scheduled originally to end in January of 22, and they want to extend it to the end of June of 2023. So about a year ago or so, the board adopted a resolution to participate in the program, and that resolution included an end date of January of 2022. So now we need to adopt a resolution that says we are going to participate all the way through the end of June 2023. And there's like 6 words that have changed in the entire motion, but I'll take any questions. Oh, the name of the chair changed too.
Okay. Any questions for the commission from the commissioners?
I have one. So again, indulge me, I'm sorry, there's some of these things I'm
Sure.
getting up to speed on. So this program, do we have metrics on how successful this program's been? How many people have participated, kind of the value of it? And then also what happens when this runs out in 2023? People just have to start paying full fare, or is there a way to make this kind of a program? I thought we already had programs for discounted. I know in Livermore we have programs where students get to ride for free and
Right.
various things. I don't know how this fits in the mix of overall ensuring that
Right.
people of lower income levels can get on public transportation. So if you could just fill me in a little bit there, would be great.
Yeah, so this is a pilot program, and the utilization rate on Wheels, I think we're carrying about 40 or 50 people a month that are using this program. One of the unfortunate components was that the consultant who was helping MTC to implement the program was, as part of their contract, going to do a lot of outreach at social service agencies, many of which have been shuttered for the last 15 months. And person-to-person, face-to-face interaction with clients is something that's just not happening. And so that sort of outreach, I think, will help the program. So the goal of the pilot program is to test whether or not it should continue. And I think that part of the evaluation process that's part of this program is they'll do some sort of a report and then make a recommendation to the MTC board to continue the program. And that'll come probably towards the middle part of 2023. I would assume that as people start returning to transit, we'll see participation rates much higher.
Right. And
We
so
have, we have signage on the insides of our buses in 4 different languages telling people about the program. And we also have exterior signage on our buses paid for by Clipper that explain the program.
So this extra year will give some time to get more up to the full demand, and then get some metrics and analysis that'll hopefully support extending the program.
I think the key part's going to be the outreach to the eligible participants.
Great, thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Brown, followed by Commissioner Josie.
Yes, so actually, Commissioner Bonanno asked a question that I didn't hear answered, and I was interested in is, what about students? So we have the free lunch program. They qualify for reduced or free bus rides. Does the MTC Clipper START program have anything to do with students?
No, the Student Transit Pass program is funded through the Alameda County Transportation Commission. That's a separate pot of money. And that applies to all students in middle and high school in Livermore, and students who qualify for free and reduced lunch in Pleasanton. And starting in the fall, it'll be students who qualify for free and reduced lunch in Dublin. So Dublin will be added to that program starting in August.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Josie?
Yeah, thank you. My question was also about outreach. Is this program advertised on the transit agency's websites and the Clipper website, or just on the buses themselves and through social service agencies?
It's on our website, and it's also on the Clipper website. They have a separate link that you can click on with like frequently asked questions, like how much can I make and still qualify, that kind of thing. It's 200% of the federal poverty level is the qualifying amount, which for a family of 4 is about $50,000. And then it goes up and down depending on family size.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Seeing none, I'll move approval and seek a second.
Second,
Roll call of the vote, please.
Livermore alternate Bonanno,
Aye.
Director Brown,
Yes.
Vice Chair Josie,
aye.
Chair Habert,
Aye.
passes unanimously.
All right, item 7. Executive Director's Report.
All right.
Michael, join us.
Yeah, you hear me okay?
Yeah, how's the governor doing, Mr. Tree?
I think he's doing well. He's mulling over a pretty significant budget deal for Valley Link. So, near the range of
All right.
$1 billion. So we're working it hard.
All right, just in time for your report.
Yeah.
Go
Well, hey,
for it.
listen, in regard to the report, there's some ridership information here with the students getting out in Pleasanton and Dublin. The ridership dipped a little bit in June. But, I think the good news is that when June 14th came and went, we found ourselves without worrying about physical distancing on the buses. So that's not a big issue moving forward. But we still have the requirement for the bus operators and the passengers to wear face masks, at least through September. So, you know, I think as over time, you know, we'll start to see the ridership continue to increase, and hopefully at a more rapid pace. We're certainly getting ready for it. That's probably one of our bigger to-do items at the staff level, is just helping ramp up the number of operators. During the pandemic, as folks retired and quit, we obviously didn't rehire based on the fact that we didn't have any, you know, or at least we didn't have many passengers and much need for additional buses to be on the road. But we think that with school coming back into session in September, you know, with students coming onto the campus, ridership will increase. So we've really begun to ramp up again the hiring of the bus operators. You know, there's a couple of other things going on. I mentioned it in the report. I gave you kind of the latest of the Blue Ribbon Transit Recovery Task Force and what they're working on. I think key to that is on the second page of the report, their priorities that they're really focusing in on. And their top priorities with this network management role as it moves forward is to have more consistent fares, if not total consistency within the Bay Area on the bus systems. Fare integration is what they're calling it. So that will be a big priority of the network management model that they're envisioning and moving forward to try and put in place. Bus transit priority, that's really your bus only lanes. It could also encompass, you know, at your intersections, having signal priority for the buses, queue jumps in place to let the buses go through the intersection before the traffic goes through in that same direction. And then the other one is, actually I marked it as marketing and public information. It actually encompasses that and the previous bullet point, branding, mapping, and wayfinding. So those are kind of the top three that'll happen right out of the gate. The ones I think that I have concern with, and perhaps we talk more as an agency when we get to the board meeting, is the capital project prioritization. So they kind of envision this network management role as prioritizing what capital projects go first. And that could be a big issue, right? For things like Valley Link or things that are important to the Wheels bus system. If you've got a capital priority now, you're kind of getting in line and you're basically listening to a network manager rather than being able to insert your savvy politics to move projects to the front of the line, or as close to the front of the line as you can get them. And then the mega project delivery and oversight. That's a big deal. It just really, you know, instead of an agency like the Valley Link agency reaching out to the governor's office and creating deals behind the scenes with the legislature and the governor's office, now you've got a network manager who basically starts to assume those roles. So not only is he prioritizing capital projects, but he's also prioritizing delivery of the project. So anyway, I think there's plenty of things to probably get happy about with the network management role, as far as from the rider's perspective. But there's also some big concerns I see that hopefully the LAFTA board is paying attention to as we move forward. And I'll make sure that I do my part to make sure you receive information as it becomes available to act on it. I also put the Dublin parking garage project in the report. It's one of the bigger items. It's certainly, you know, Jennifer Yeaman spends a lot of time with this. We want to deliver that project on schedule and within budget. We certainly have had our hurdles with that as we work with the county to deliver that project, but I know Supervisor Hubbard and his staff have been all over this project, making sure they know what's going on and making sure that we have the best chance of staying on schedule. But long story short, your next big milestone with this project is to get your design build contract in place. And that's the firm that will do the final design and construction on the project. And we're hoping to get that done as soon as we can, but no later than the end of the calendar year. So with that, I'll be happy to take any questions. There's certainly a lot more than this going on, but tried to capture maybe some of the highlights of things that we're moving.
Any other questions of the executive director from the commissioners?
I have one. Thank you, Mike, for that. And also I want to thank you for your briefing you gave me, the one-on-one briefing you gave me last month, which sort of got me ready to be hopefully a value-added member of this committee and board. I appreciate your time getting me brought up to speed on a few of these things. So can you just say a little bit more, or Jennifer, maybe say a little bit more about this garage project? Where is it exactly, the number of spots, and what the cost associated with it? I'm just not familiar with this project to any extent. If you could just take a minute, that would be great.
Yeah, Jennifer, you want to start? And if there's anything to add, I'll add it.
Sure. This project, I think at the highest level, it's LAVTA's role is mainly as a fiscal pass-through for some state grant funding that's going to help construct the thing, because it's money coming through a transit program. So being one of the local transit agencies, we were identified as the project sponsor in order to be eligible to receive the funds. So that's our role. The project itself will construct about a 500 space garage to provide for additional parking capacity at the East Dublin Pleasanton BART station. It has been from the get-go a county-led project, and the county owns the land on which the garage will be built. And the County General Services Administration is serving as the lead agency. So that's sort of the high-level view that, I'm sure we could give you a more in-depth overview of the project offline, but that's kind of the top line info about the project.
Yeah, no, that's great. The key piece I didn't really understand was that you're the sponsoring organization for basically getting more BART parking.
Right, and the county would not have been an eligible recipient for the lion's share of the funding that's gone into that from the state and local sources.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions of the executive director? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, preview of future items.
Okay, I'll just be brief. Typically, you take July off on this committee, and then we take August off at the board level and resume the August committees. So we don't have anything scheduled at this point. There's no urgency item that I'm aware surfacing in July, so would typically cancel those meetings and then pick them right back up in August. Probably your big item in August that's not on the sheet, but will be soon, is your shared autonomous vehicle program. We've been negotiating with a developer and with operators of shared autonomous vehicles for kind of the next phase of your shared autonomous vehicle. We think we will have a deal for the committee to consider in August, but going on into September, we usually do a customer satisfaction survey that we report back to the board on service changes, which are coming up. And then as we get into the latter part of the year, we usually focus on some paratransit.
So Michael, one of the next items talks about a meeting in July. What you just mentioned taking July off?
Yeah, we typically take July off and then the August board meeting off, but at the end of August, we pick right back up on the committees. So we have items in September for the board. So we don't anticipate that you'll need a July committee meeting. So, unless you want to meet, we'd recommend cancellation of that.
Okay, got it. So the full, are you saying the full board would meet in July, but we would not meet at all in August?
Correct.
All right, very good. Now I understand better. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Any matters introduced by board members? Seeing none, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.